Buongiorno, ciao a tutti, welcome to Venice. Buongiorno, buongiorno. Just need a couple of minutes that we are settling up everything. And we might have, as usual, some buongiorno, buongiorno. Let's see that right now we got the app that we are normally using that has been updated, and we need to check if everything is working. Svalbard it's difficult to stay warm today. Is definitely really and really cold today. We got something like 35 degrees actually. Temperatures, they're going to drop dramatically later on. And you can see, yep, it's definitely cold, or at least really chilly. We got a beautiful bright sky, as you can tell. It's just magnificent. We had a lot of lovely snow literally everywhere. We got a fantastic day. No, I'm smoking too much. I definitely agree with you. I'm smoking the air at the moment. But as you can see, it's just beautiful. It's fantastic. It's not snow in Venice, but definitely we ended up having snow in the Dolomites. And give me a second, let me turn around. We were having quite a lot of snow all over the entire area of the Dolomites. So something like 1 hour and a half away from here, and so the situation is pretty good. So we got a lot of happy skiers that they're having a lot of fun literally everywhere. I swap you for 28 degrees here. No, Linda, no, I'm already having problems with things. You can keep the 28. Sorry. Let's say it's cold enough. Let's see if my fingers, they're going to stay alive until the end of the live. Nice to see you all. Ciao a tutti. Welcome. So it seems that the app is pretty much working. That since that the app has been updated, we didn't know. We were not sure if it was working properly or what. It seems that right now is working, and so 35 here in. Wow, it's freezing rain. It's pretty bad. And so today, so let's as usual introduce everything. And so buongiorno to all of you. Welcome to I Love You Venice, one of the most important, if not the most important channel in Venice that is showing you every day the beauties of the city live. Actually, at this real moment, everybody is pretty excited because on the 4th of February we're starting Carnevale. We're starting Carnival that is going to last until 21st of February. That is going to be Fat Tuesday, and that's good. That is always a happy day when you're coming here with us, actually. And definitely we are really happy as usual to show you the beauties of the city. And so if we're ready, we are pretty much ready to go. Andiamo. Yeah, let's say the city is kind of quiet. When I got to Venice around noon, I was having quite a lot of people in the area of the train station. That is pretty much over there on the left hand side. Right now actually everything is okay. We cannot complain. It's just a matter that is a kind of chilly. Are you taking us to see the costumes again? Let's have a look. We're planning. We're trying to see what is going to happen this year with the Carnevale, with the carnival, because they're not going to have the Volo della Colombina, which is pretty much the wing of the dove, and so Normally we got a lady or a boy that they're going to be dressed up with a costume, and they do a zip line from the Campanile, from the bell tower, all the way down to Piazza San Marco. Igor should wear a costume himself. Yeah, let's see if I'm going to be Harry Potter or anything like that. And so we see what is going to happen. Everyone from sunny but cold Nottingham. Ciao, Carol. And yeah, definitely, let's see. We are discussing in the back office actually what should we do, when it should happen. Actually, that is still we're still questioning actually about Carnival. That nothing is clear, even if it's happening in 2 or 3 days. Actually, Italy, as usual. We love to be disorganized and leave everything at the last second, and with a surprise factor. Oh, look at here. Normally, once that you're coming into Venice, so great to be back on tour with you, all 14 plus inches of snow. Yeah, Brian, I know that in Canada you're having new problems with the snow, like last year, actually, if I remember well, that you was having a bunch of problems, actually. Yeah, the thing is, once that you're coming into Venice, I know that one of the major problems is that we don't have gardens, but as you can see, this one is really handy if you need a little rest, if you need to sit down a little bit and have a little rest in the shade. This is always a good idea. We're next door to Piazzale Roma, which is the bus and car terminal, and of course during summertime we got all the flowers, and it's a really shady area, and we got a lot of benches, and so stopping around this area is always nice and interesting. It's giving you a nice rest, especially after that you walk more than 400 bridges or so. You definitely need to chill off a bit. Before that your feet, they're going to burn, you're going to have problems, which is always pretty tricky. Yeah, think about that. Right here, pretty much until Napoleon time, we would have had a church and a monastery that has been completely teared down, and nowadays we got definitely a garden. Oh, let's slowly start to take our walk down into Venice itself. So we're going to go from green into the regular bridges. Today we're going to try to sneak around the area of Scuola Grande di San Rocco. We're going to try to go into the Frari church area. Let's see how the signal will be. How can you complain about weather in Venice when you have so much bright blue and green? No, I'm not complaining actually. I'm just complaining that it's a bit chilly. That's the only thing that I'm normally complaining. But other than that, no problems. I'm way much more happy with winter rather than summer. That summer is always a problem actually, that it's too hot. Oh, look at the beauty. That if I can give you a little tip, if you're coming this side, you got always the Baccaretto d'Alele. That is this one that you're getting a great glass of wine and a nice sandwich for a few euros. And so normally, yeah, I know that a lot of you actually, they never been to Venice, but some of you has been to Venice or to Italy. You know that we are quite easygoing, and so we can just get all our food inside of the little Baccaro. Remember that here the Baccaro is like a bar, and you're getting the cicchetti that are like the tapas in Spain. Actually, you're going to get all your little something to eat. You're just standing right here actually having your glass of wine. Nobody's going to say anything. Ciao Marek. Nobody's going to say anything, and then you're going to have a great time, and this is pretty good. What's time there right now? Too early for a glass of wine? No. Hold on. It's pretty much a good time for wine. It's around 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. And so it's probably even schnapps time, grappa time. No, it's definitely 3 p.m. And so it's not too early. We just finished lunch. We need a little something to put the pasta down actually. And so that it would be a nice idea actually to have a little something. 8 a.m. is probably a little bit too early. uh, but let's say 3 o'clock is definitely acceptable. Yeah, as you can see, the view and the colors, they are just perfect, and they are just beautiful. Linda, yeah, we're always up to yeah, let's say hot wine is always a great idea rather than the tea, that getting the English tea or anything similar. It's not tea time yet, but it might be an option. Actually, here is always wine time, so they used to say it's Guinness o'clock, it's wine o'clock for sure. Oh, here we go. Some of you remember that during our walk we always met our little friends. Here we go. Even during winter time, they are having a little swim. Even the espresso is not a bad idea. So the community of ducks, as usual, is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they are spread out between here and the area of behind the university. Yeah, the ducks, they are fun. We got the area where the prison is, and one of the last live that we've done, actually, that section, we are still having pretty lovely duck family, including swans, actually. And so it's January getting into February, and by but no, definitely better than pigeons, and by, I would say, March, April, we're going to start to have the storks first, and after the storks we're going to have the flamingos that are coming this way. Oh, look at here, let me see. Ponte dei Squartai, the bridge that has been drawn in quarters. That is always interesting. Of course, it was a deterrent. He was a way to tell everybody, hey folks, behave yourself, don't do anything silly, otherwise you're going to be cut in 4 pieces and you're going to be displayed in public. And on the 4 points of the compass, and so north, south, east and west, actually, we would have had special cages where they would have put oh, a lovely dog, look at him. We would have put something like 4 pieces as a deterrent. It was like a big warning, folks, don't do anything silly, otherwise we chop you in 4 pieces. Sorry. But this one is always a great deterrent here. See, I don't think that we're going to see many ducks and pigeons today. Just to give you a little idea of the situation, look at here. We are having low tide. A few days ago we were having extremely high tide, actually. Look, normally the water is pretty much up to here or here, it depends. And so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps down and one that is still under the water. So the tide is still going down, actually. So the situation is really interesting at the moment. Oh, look, we're slowly starting to see quite a lot of interesting things on the distance. And today we're going to sneak around a bunch of new areas, maybe, that we never. Grazie Linda, thank you for supporting. Grazie, thank you to all of you for watching and supporting our channel. That's so we're able to show you the beauties of the city as usual. Yeah, talking about tides and everything, as I told you, we're going extreme, and we're going to go from extremely high to extremely low, and that's one of my favorite houses, actually. It's like a replica, it's not the original one. It has been more developed in the 1900s, and it used to be the headquarters, the office of a designer, architect and so on. And I try to show you from the bridge, and even this section is really lovely. That is going to give you a full idea of this area. And yeah, some of you that travel into Spain, these chimneys, they're going to remind you somehow something that is definitely arriving from Spain, and we got definitely Mr. Gaudi, if you want, of course, more elaborated than one of Barcelona. But even this one, they are tinier, but they are nice. Yeah, this area is pretty cool actually. And as long that you're going to leave Piazzale Roma, the bus and car terminal, that is always the funny part, let's say. Once that you're starting to come right here, the entire section is really nice. Oh, give me a second. I stayed here at the Locanda Salieri. Here we go. So the Piccolo Gaudi, yeah, the Piccolo is little. The little Gaudi, absolutely. Let's say is the Venetian version for Gaudi in a way, if you want. And let me show you this area too. Wait a second. Oops, sorry. Here we go. And we might have ended up in the previous tour to see the Scala Contarini del Bovolo, that the shape it looked like a snail shape, and this one is the other piccola version, the other small version. And even this one is super unique and super beautiful. And as I always saying, the shape of the chimneys, they are spectacular here in Venice. Some of them, they are really masterpieces of art, developed almost 800 years ago to avoid the fire. So in this way the ashes, they were not flying out directly, but they would have been spinning around inside of the cone shape, and from that point actually we would have avoided all the problems with the big fires. Thank you, Marek. Those chimneys are amazing. Birds are keeping warm. See, let's say we're having a bunch of, or at least earlier, I saw a bunch of rooftops. We were having thousands of pigeons that they were warming up the feet right there, and that was definitely interesting. Oh, let me see. Let's slowly start to get into the heart of the city. And so we're going to hit a bunch of things, and especially right here we got this palace that is arriving right now, is the Scuola dei Laneri. Ciao Nicole. We got the Scuola dei Laneri, the school of the wool maker, literally. And it was like an association where all the wool maker, they would have come right here actually as a meeting and discussing about new techniques, how to trade, how to do business with different kind of nationalities, different kind of people. Of course, Venice always being a big trading area, and they always mean extremely important. So all over, people from all over the world who are coming up and down this area. Oh, let's see. You can see we got a little bit of traffic, not too much, and so it's still great. Where we're not really looking forward to get into Carnival, that I believe that is going to be pretty busy as usual. So if there's any of you that is coming for Carnevale, remember to try to stay away from Rialto Bridge and Piazza San Marco during the weekends, because it's going to be a kind of busy, and then during the week normally it's not a big problem. And then I would like to suggest another thing. Remember that on the 4th of February we're going to have what? We're going to have the boat parade that is going to be by the canal, that is where the Ponte delle Guglie is. That if you're going to watch one of our webcams by the area of Philo hotel, you should be able to see part of the parade, and that is going to be spectacular, I would definitely say so. And yeah, the 4th of February, keep an eye in the Ponte delle Guglie, because there you're going to see the parade. I don't know how it will be this year. Probably it's going to be something like shows of trapezes, jugglers, that they are going to do the show in the boat, and while that they are sailing, there's a light show, and that is gonna be really really nice actually. And watching from the webcam, of course, is not giving you the full idea, but at least you're going to get an idea of how the thing look like. Oh, let's have a look. Give me a second. Up and down the bridges. Whoop. Let's have a look if our graffito Banksy is still there. The flight of the angel at the carnival, this is cool. I definitely agree with you. Marek, sorry if I'm laughing, but I decided to cancel this year. It was too cool, they canceled. How was the tiramisu day in Treviso this year? It was really quiet. They are not advertising it too well, and they need to advertise way much better. That none of the tourists, none even of the local doing much. Will be camera scanning for that? I don't think so. We would love to do that, but it's always really difficult to find a good position. Actually, I don't have any kind of friends or connections that is going to give me a terrace over there to use it and enjoy and watch the entire show. Here we go, Banksy. Graffito that has been done here in 2019. Absolutely, Julie. In 2019, just at the beginning of the Biennale, nobody knew that he was doing that, and peekaboo, we found it at the following day. Here we go. That's pretty much the entire idea that we're having exactly right now, and we're slowly getting to golden hours, and as you see, we're slowly getting with extra scaffoldings literally everywhere. Normally you have to know that somewhere in that part of the facade of the palace we do have let's say a sign, a piece of stone that is exactly like the one that is in the fish market in Rialto. And this one used to be the official measure of the fish in the Venetian lagoon, actually. So the Venetian Republic, they were checking that the measure, we were not overfishing actually, and so in this way we were not running out of fish. You recently had the amazing James Hoffman in Treviso. We're anticipating for the ultimate tiramisu recipe from him. See, that's right. I don't know how it will be, but it's too quiet. They need to improve a lot of things over there, actually, from my point of view. Ostrega brava. Oh, here we go. We got the Church of San Pantalone, and this one, if you're going to find it open, please pop in, because you got one of the most... Give me a second. Sorry that I got a little problem. Wait a second. There we go. Thank you, Hazel. Grazie mille. Basta fare schifo, sì. No, we got... you're right. Scusa mamma, basta fare schifo, sì. Let's say that we got graffitis, but these are... distrarre Igor con i tiramisù, che dopo non faccio più niente come al solito. No. I'm pretty much like the donkey or the horse. If you put the carrot in front of the nose, if you put me the tiramisu in front of my nose, that might be a problem. No, the thing is, we're definitely having problems with graffitis, but these are just the scaffoldings, and so it's not a big deal. But definitely see, and so on. If you've been here, actually, you've been pretty lucky, because the view is amazing, and wait a second, that I got a funny balance on the gimbal today. No, the most incredible thing is that is the largest the largest painting that we got around the world. The entire ceiling is completely full of paintings actually, and this one is just amazing. Only real crime in Venice is the graffiti. See, that one I agree with you actually. But let's say on the last few years they are giving walls that so the kids they can express themselves. And some of them they are really great actually. Some of them they are just phenomenal artists actually. They just need a space that they are not bothering anybody. Oh, here we go. This is something different. As you can see, there are a lot of things missing, but you have to know that before Napoleon, we would have had, or better, during Napoleon time and during the Austro-Hungarian Empire, we would have had a lion's head. In Venetian, normally it's called Bocca de Leon, and so the lion's mouth, literally. And this one, actually, it would have been a mailbox where the locals they were able to drop a mail inside, and they were like, okay, please can you check it out, Igor, that is a really bad boy because he already killed 20 people. And at that point the Quarantia criminal would have started to to investigate and what was happening. Metti la mano, sì, adesso me la mangia, sì, he's going to buy that. It's like the mouth of truth in Roma. Thanks God that is not exactly the same for the same purpose, but the entire idea is that we would have had different mailboxes for different purposes. If you needed to sue somebody in the hospital, or otherwise from a political point of view, or otherwise it was a crime, you wouldn't be able to drop a mail over there. At that point, actually, no blackmail, you had to write it down, literally everything. Eyes closed, they are doing the restoration. Exactly right over there we got a big patera, a big dish actually that is normally representing the Byzantine Empire. Unfortunately, they're doing a new massive restoration. Sorry, next time. That we got a lot of these. Yeah, by now you know that we got a lot of hideaways, things all over Venice, and really often you got these things that are called patere. Here we go. One is there. One is a little bit lower, and some they are related to the religious theme. Some they represent peacocks, doves, the lion, especially lions. And every time that let's say mainly not the Serenissima, but once that the new rulers they would have come into Venice, and let's say like the Austrians or Napoleon, they would have started to destroy the sign of the previous ruler. Oh, here we go. Look at here frittelle. Here we go. And so starting from now, this is definitely the time that everybody is doing the frittella crawling. They are jumping from one bakery to the next one to try to see which one is the best one. And those are with eggnogs, chocolate. This one is with cream. And then we got the one that is the Veneziana that is missing, and the Veneziane they are normally with raisin, and those are going to be some of the most incredible one. So everybody is totally addicted, or at least I'm totally addicted with these, and it's always amazing. So I'm the only one around the world that I'm getting drunk with the frittelle. As you figure it out, they look like apple fritters in a way. And give me a second, let me sneak around this way. And the one that they do it with the zabaglione, with the eggnogs. Sometimes they added up too much eggnog, and after that you eat two of them, you are fine. Le pasticcerie sono pericolose, Nicole, di sto periodo. Yeah, right here we got Tonolo, Tonolo, and you got Marchini Time, you got Rosa Salva. Those are the three top-notch one, including Dalmas that is right by the train station. So we got several actually that they are fabulous, and you cannot miss the opportunity of trying the frittelle once that you are coming into Venice. And so normally we start to prepare them around Christmas time, just during Christmas time, and then you keep going until the 21st of February. Here we go, we're slowly starting to see the Scuola Grande di San Rocco. We're right from the back door, literally. And that this is one of the masterpieces of art that we got here in Venice. It's exactly like the Sistine Chapel for Rome, but this is Scuola Grande di San Rocco, and that's where Mr. Tintoretto Dana sai fritto che sponsormi. E cosa femo? Noi mangiamo i cani, no? We were sorry that we jumped from English into Venetian. Here we're having always a lot of problems with Italian. And we speak a really bad Italian once that we jump from dialect into Italian. But the other idea is beside of the frittelle we got something that they are called either crostoli galani, depends from which part of Italy you come from. It's basically fried dough, you put sugar on the top, and those are nice too. They are really crispy and crunchy, and they are really nice if you're going to have it with a coffee. If I'm going to find some, I will show you actually that they are really, you will find those only during this time of the year and not much other time. So let me run, we might have problems with the connection. Almost made it. Here we go. But here the situation is getting complicated, of course, because it's always difficult to squeeze everything in. And we're right by the Scuola Grande di San Rocco. Remember that if you're coming this way during the pigeons attack. I'm going to do the new movie of Alfred Hitchcock and the birds. That's a different story, but the entire idea is that the Scuola Grande di San Rocco is phenomenal. The most important, talking about the Scuola Grande di San Rocco right now during Carnival time, they're going to have special visits, and they're going to be all guided. And so if you're coming this way during Carnival time, this is going to be really nice. Nina, I tell you something, that we're having a bunch of problems on the last few years, and so don't try to eat anything all over Venice. Actually, don't keep any kind of food in your hands, because you are going to be attacked by the seagulls or anything similar. And so my wife got attacked by a seagull a couple of weeks ago. At home we are still joking and pulling the legs and making fun of her, and the seagull steal a tramezzino directly from the hand of my wife. So be careful walking around. Ciao Zanotus, ciao ciao. And so the entire idea is that the Scuola Grande di San Rocco is dating back around the 1480, and so 1500, and Mr. Tintoretto, he has been the main maestro here. Actually, he done an amazing job. And think about it, that the church that is on our right hand side, it has been developed something like 700 years ago approximately, to say thanks that San Rocco basically stopped the plague. And then of course we got a festival dedicated to San Rocco too. So normally during the feast of San Rocco, that is happening during summertime, we put a big red tent right here. We do a pretty important procession, as it can happen during July for the Redentore, the Church of the Redeemer, as it can happen during the 21st of November during the time See, you're right, Nina. She doesn't like Venice. That's why that my wife has got attacked. No, the entire idea is that the 21st of November we got the feast of the Madonna della Salute, St. Mary of the Health, and so there's always several religious festivals actually that they are always related to say thanks that different kind of saints they definitely stop the plague, of course. Don't forget that the 2/3 of the population died here in Venice, unfortunately, during the Black Death. Let me see. We're going to take look at this view. Well, let me see if I can give you. I know that it looks foggy, but the view is just spectacular. That we got a lot of beautiful, lovely viewpoints that they are just phenomenal. Right now, hold on. Give me a second. There we go. Zoom problems as usual. And so I would like to take you in a D-turn and I would like to show you the Scuola dei Caligari. And so there is a lovely building that is exactly where especially the Germans they were producing shoes. No, Linda, you're right, that this entire section is really lovely, and the Scuola Grande di San Rocco is even more interesting once that you pop in, of course, because 500 years ago when Tintoretto won he kind of steal the competition amongst the best artists. Actually, he ended up designing the entire Scuola Grande di San Rocco. The thing is, what was happening in those days, Tintoretto and many other artists, they definitely compete to present a big massive project to paint the Scuola Grande di San Rocco. Tintoretto actually he done a big massive painting dedicated to San Rocco. He stick it on the wall of the Scuola Grande di San Rocco, and nobody can deny, nobody can say no, you cannot give any kind of present to the church. Actually, at that point, actually sneak in, and at that when priests saw everything, they said, okay, we keep your project and you are going to get the job. Here we go, folks. We're definitely getting into the idea of the Carnevale. Look at here. Well, let's say it depends, Julie, where you are. Let's see, they're starting to be a lot. But once that you're getting off the beaten path, they are not really bothering anybody. Actually, you are definitely. I definitely agree with you. Oh, look at the dragon. That one is cool. That is pretty nice. I like it. But even the dress, I like this dress. Now, even if you're coming here in Venice, if you're picking up a dress, it's always difficult. They are one better than the other, actually. Yeah, look at this mask with all the feather. But good to know that you don't care about the crowds at that point. That is not playing a big issue, and that is really good at that point. That's the only way to go. Otherwise, is always a big problem. Oh, look at this one too. They are one nicer than the other. I don't know if the feathers one is super. I really like let me see if I can zoom, because the purple color of this one with the feather is wow. I really like it. I know that it might look bluish. Hold on, let me move. Yeah, it might look bluish. You got any idea about the depth of those buildings under the sea, meters or more than 1 kilometer? No, it's less than 1 kilometer. You depth of what? How many pilings? How deep the pilings are here in Venice? Jai Kumar, and so just think about that. We got poles that they are from the first level down that has been drilled directly into the foundations, and that's how deep everything has been drilled down. Oh, look at here. Oh, this is cool. This is really nice. Even this one. Whoa, I like this one. Oh, this is cool. They are really nice, actually. Even the details of these shoes. Look at here. See, brava Nina. The foundations of Venice, actually, they are wooden pilings. It's a regular pine tree, something like, or a regular oak tree that has been drilled directly into the swamp of Venice. And since that we got clay underneath, we never ended up having the wood that it was getting deteriorated or mold, and the wood became concrete because we got clay, no air into the wood, and they tend to be wooden pilings converted into stones, rocks, and this kind of things, and that's the reason why that they are lasting for such a long time. Those clothes are just stunning. See, Linda, I definitely agree with you. I love this hat, the white hat right here with the feather like the Three Musketeers or something, and that is really nice. I love the shoes too, actually. And for the ladies, wooden pillars lasting so many decades. Yeah, some of the wooden pilings, wooden pillars, they are 1600 years old, or at least as old as Venice. Sorry, here we go. Give me a second, let me zoom back. Yeah, plus all over Venice, actually, we have to say that we got special bacteria that they are doing pretty well, and they are preserving literally everything. Oh, look at here. So this one nowadays is the Biblioteca, the library of San Thomas. Yes, love the shoes too. See. And this one, it's a great spot, of course, for the kids, for the adults that are coming for the books. But look at here. Second, can you see the shape that we got? All these little shoes that they are designed right here. These are not the only one, but basically all over Venice we would have had special districts that they were basically specialize in producing shoes, and the majority they would have been Germans. I would like to show you another, beside of, look at this door. And everything, the details and everything, they are still spectacular. And just around the corner we got one of the most incredible artisans, which is a carpenter. I hope that the signal is gonna stay like this. Look what he's doing. It's all wood, and so it's amazing. He's in the 70s, 80s. He's called Bruno Barbone. Sorry that you got my ugly face. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, here we go. The hands, they are unreal. Look, it's all wood. It's all wood. It's one of the last maestro that is doing these amazing masterpieces of art. And let me see the next window. Hold on. Is of course in charge of restoring, refixing everything. Here we go. That's the other popular thing that we got, the Moretti. But we got. Let me see. Here we go. We got all these little angels that they are everywhere. Those are really spectacular, actually, and they always done an amazing job. He is a real maestro, together with many others, actually. Let's say that we're still extremely lucky that in Venice we're still having so many artisans that they are still producing everything exactly like in the ancient days, and we cannot complain let's continue with a bunch of extra dresses. Oh, look at here. What do you think? And so once that you're coming into Venice, and if you're going, wow, but is that Igor in the window? You mean the dress? I mean, as far as I remember, you got dresses that you can rent it from 100, 200 euros, and you go up to 1,000, 2,000 euros for one night, literally. And the masks, some simple one, actually, they can go for something like 50, 60 euros, and then you go up to 200, 300, 400 euros. See, I definitely agree with you. Venice should not lose all these talented artisans, actually, that they do. Sorry for the reflections. I'm trying to give you the best view. See, it's my reflection, sorry. It's really difficult to get a good peak. That I'm always going to be reflected, sorry. Oh, let me see if I'm standing on. Yeah, here we got a little bit of extra illumination. Look at the details of the decorations. Yeah, those are unreal. Now, these artists, the artisans, call it whatever, they are amazing. They are really, really incredible, actually. So, I hope that we're going to stay in this way. I hope that we're going to keep going, having new and new artisans. Yeah, recently I'm having a chat with a friend of mine. She's a great artist, and she's mainly doing sketches for little kids, and we're trying to do maps like treasure hunt for the little kids. That's so if mom and dad, they are bringing the kids into Venice, they're going to keep the kids entertained, and they're going to find the treasure in Venice. And so we're trying to develop new artistic things. Are there a lot of tourists around there right now? Man, the thing is, we don't have much. I was in Rialto earlier, something like 2 hours ago, and the situation was really quiet. The majority of the people that we see around are locals that they are roaming around, but we don't have many tourists. I believe that everything is going to start to pick up between the 4th and the 21st of February, including the 14th of February with San Valentino, with Valentine's Day, actually. Oh, look at the reflection that we're having in this building right now. So they are just spectacular. All waiting for the next few weeks. Si, brava, for Carnival. That is going to be the time that everybody will be coming. At that point, we're going to have a lot of Germans, Americans, and French. Those are the kind of nationalities that we're having around this area during Carnival time. During the weekends, it will be full of locals, Italians actually, but during the week, they're going to be all foreigners. And as I told you, mainly French, German, and Americans. And so let's see how the situation will be. As I told you, it's still unclear to me what they're going to do in Piazza San Marco. There's no opening with the zip line in the square. I don't know. It's still unsure. And let me see if I can give you a good viewpoint from here, because the church is big. So we got the now we can fit just a bit. I went just before Carnival, and it was wonderful with no crowds or queues anywhere. See, Anna, you're definitely right. If you're coming here during just before Carnival, it might be chilly, but definitely we don't have anybody around. Let's say this morning we were having 30 degrees or something, and so it was definitely nice and crispy. Now it's cold, but it's not too bad actually. The major problem, as usual, is the humidity. And of course we are right by the church of the Frari, not Ferrari, it's not like but it's Frari, Frara. Frari, and this is pretty much one of the most important mausoleums that we got in Venice, actually, and that's pretty much where you're going to find one of the most incredible paintings of Titian. And the other thing that is just unreal is one of the tombs that it looked like a pyramid that has been designed by Mr. Canova, Mr. Antonio Canova, that he was a local artist, that he was living right here. He was born just outside of Venice, actually, but he was the man that he was in charge to go from Venice to Paris to get back all the stealing from Mr. Napoleon. Oh, let me try to give you a better view from here. Oh, here we go. This one is another pretty view. Yeah, and let me see if we can get some lovely reflections from here. Santa Maria Gloriosa dei Frari. See, Nina, you're right, but the name is a little bit too long. For us, it's always the Frari Church. We cut it short. Otherwise. But here the joke in Italy is you don't try to give to your son or your daughter a really long name, because by the time that you finish to call him, he's running away. So if you're going to call your son Maximilian, come here, it's too long and your son, he will disappear. So Max is good. That's why that mom and dad, they named me Igor. That's so in 2 seconds I was trying to get there as quick as possible. That's for those who wants to Google it. No, I know, I'm just joking. But you're right. For those of you that if you're going to Google, if you're going to put Frari, Santa Maria Gloriosa dei Frari, at least you're going to be able to see everything, because the interior is just phenomenal. That's the other idea. Rio Terra that we mentioned a bunch of times. So definitely means that this one, it was Rio, river, terra, land, and you can clearly see that this would have been a canal. So right over there we would have had the gondolas that they would have docked exactly over there, and so in this way it was pretty much during the Austro-Hungarian time, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, that they cover up all the canals to have easy access from place A to place B. And that's how everything, thank you, Juan, grazie mille, that's how everything was working in those days, actually. So we went from approximately 47 kilometers of canals all the way down to 35. And the major idea was, okay, let's cut it short, so in this way it will be easier to go from place A to place B, and easy access. Yeah, for those of you that never been to Venice, we got all the planks, so in this way every time that we got the high tide, the water is going to be blocked off exactly here, and so in this way the water is not gonna go inside of the building or inside of your accommodation, flat, apartments, and so on. And yeah, literally, let me show you this, that so you can get a full idea. The entire idea is the canal was running underneath our feet, and then 200 years ago approximately they cover up everything. So look, so you got the canal that is coming this side. Here we go. Let me show you from the side so you can get a better idea. Wait a second. Here we go. So the canal was going this way, and then it was keep going until the other side. So as you can see, we got this entire section has been completely changed through the centuries, as many other areas of Venice. Of course, the evolution of the city here after here. So let's slowly try to sneak around this area. Of course, We are a bit off the beaten path at the moment. The situation is going to change again in a second. In a second we're going to get into Campo San Polo, where we got the San Polo church, and over there let's have a look if we're going to have tourists or not. I can tell you that I see there we go, some trolleys coming and going, but it's not as it would have been until October and November, so it slowed down a lot. So that's the idea. But just a little tip for those off the beaten path is so much more interesting. I definitely agree with you. Yeah, for those of you that are coming this year in Venice, be extremely careful, book everything well in advance, because it might be extremely busy, and it might be an issue to find an accommodation or anything. Let's have a look how the situation is this side, so you can get a full idea. Now the colors and the reflections against the buildings is really lovely actually today. It's probably one of the best time of the year. Not too many people, not too crowded. This one is one of the main streets that is definitely going into the Rialto bridge, and from here to Rialto is normally a 10 minutes walk, not even. You got a boring boring meeting. Aya. Sorry for you. Somebody must do it. Sorry for you. Now the thing is, ciao, buon pomeriggio. No, coming this side is always a great way to enjoy the city and off the beaten path. I definitely agree with you. At least you're a little bit more quiet, relaxed, and during summertime you got people. Ciao Venezia, ciao. And so this is telling you already that it's quiet, it's still quiet. Here we got Campo San Polo, and this is pretty much where we're normally having the ice skating ring, starting from just before Christmas time. Yeah, the other thing that it might be interesting. No, Julie, I definitely agree. I got one of the best jobs of the world. Before it was even better, because I was touring from Portugal to Russia, North Cape down to Greece, and that was no complain. Absolutely. And so I'm animal of the barn. I love to be outside. I cannot stand to be in an office. After 2 seconds I'm like, oh gee, how do people with limited walking abilities move around the city? That is the problem. I'm studying quite a lot on the last few days actually, because I'm having a couple that the husband is in a wheelchair, and so he's a pretty big interesting research over let's say accessibility area with ramps. You have to know that the only area that we do have ramps at the moment in Venice is the one in front of Piazza San Marco, and all along that embankment you can easily go in and out without problems if you got a wheelchair. I got a bunch of friends of mine that are in wheelchair, and they're normally using the Vaporetto, which is the water bus actually, and it's not too bad to go in and out. I mean, going off the beaten path, if you're local or a tourist with a wheelchair, it might be a lady that with the trolley. But that's the reason why that on the last few years a lot of the locals getting older with less mobility, actually they decided to move out. I got a friend of mine that she was born with a leg shorter than the other actually, and she is in the crutches, and several years ago she decided she definitely gave up. At that point she decided just to move out of Venice, that it was much better, otherwise it would have been a big problem, of course. And the logistic, it can get really crazy sometimes. Give me a second. Let me see. Yeah, the graffiti, I definitely agree with you that they are really ugly. Not in a wheelchair, but people with bad knees. One of them. Let's say after the bunch of operations, surgeries that I had, is not easy actually. Mainly because the heavy humidity is getting directly into your bones, and that is always a big problem. And so let's say in Italy, compared to other countries, we don't have a lot of knees replacement or ankle replacement, and it's not easy. A lot of the locals, they are definitely moving out, and so it will be way much easier. Ciao Nitya from Bulgaria. It's way much easier actually to move out, that at least you're going to get a easier access from place A to place B. Otherwise it's not always easy, but it's getting frustrating actually. Of course, I'm getting older as anybody else, and by the end of the day actually you feel the bridges in your knees, in your neck, or whatever else. It's becoming complicated. I definitely agree, and so you need to get a compromise actually. You walk slower, you know that to go from place A to place B is going to take you whatever time it's going to take, and that's it. But it's never easy. Ciao Judith, ciao tutti, ciao 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 ciao. Here we go. And so for those of you that were asking before how is the situation with the crowds, let me leave everything behind. The main street look like. Of course, we're getting closer and closer to the Ponte di Rialto, the Rialto Bridge, and of course we're getting more and more people. So in a little second we're going to see how everything is going to look like by Rialto Bridge. I believe that the top part of the Rialto is going to be busy, because everybody is waiting for the sunset, for the golden hours. Other than that, I don't think that it's gonna be super busy. So by the way, we're right by the church of San Silvestro. In a second we're going to hit the Ponte di Rialto and the Grand Canal, Canal Grande, but we're still in the back alleys. As long that we make it right, this is gonna be the busy point. Stairs are a problem. Both stations aren't that close one to another. See, Nina, the other thing is getting in and out of the boat is not a big problem. I definitely agree. So going from place A to place B by boat, sometimes actually you're going to get off the boat, but you still need to walk a bit, so it's not easy. Ciao ciao a tutti. Ciao ciao Michigan. How is the snow situation in Michigan at the moment? Are you having fun? Sorry, that I know that you are normally having there. Boarding a boat can be hazardous, see, and especially when it's really choppy, it's gonna be sometimes really dangerous. Grazie Ivi. Grazie mille per il caffè, grazie. No, it can be dangerous actually, even getting off the boat, because when it's too choppy, when it's too many waves, it's not that easy actually, and that might be a big issue, even getting off the boat, and that might be a big issue. Oh, look what is coming. See, let me see, give me a little second. Oh, look at the view. Yeah, we're definitely pretty much with the typical it's like a postcard at the moment. And so the typical cliche for Venice: gondolas, Grand Canal, sunset. Thank you to you. No one is eating outside today. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait a second. We got some brave one. I told you, we got some that are eating outside. Yeah, we got still a lot of Germans, Scandinavians, whatever else that they are used to colder weather. So we got a bunch of Vikings that they are really brave and they eat outside. But on the last few years we got these heaters that they are warming you up. At least you're not gonna be totally frosted or frozen. So it's a big relief. I've been waiting for a view like this. Oh, give me a second, and I try to go all the way up to the Ponte di Rialto. Let me see. No, oh, wait a second. Let me get closer and let's see how the view will be. No, that view was probably the best one at the moment. Weatherproof people. Grazie mille Ivi, grazie. Now this, think about that, we're normally having sunset by 5:15, 5:30. That is normally starting to get pretty dark. Let me see. And then on the 26th of March, if I'm not wrong, they're going to change the time, and from that point it will be brighter and nicer. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, it's all illuminated. It's all lit up, so we are really lucky. And in a second I'm going to try to cross the Ponte di Rialto, and let's have a look at the sunset thing from there. Ciao Yunjo. Let me slowly give you 360 degrees. Busy but not too busy. See, you're right, man. It's busy but it's not too busy. Even if you look, we got 2 gondolas right now, 3 gondolas, 4 gondolas, and no boats. So give me a second, let me see. Even this side, if you look, we got we got the seagulls that are like eagles. They're like screaming. And so no sandwiches, no pizzas. Otherwise it might be a issue and a problem. Oh, the view is spectacular. Let's go a little bit further up, that's so we can get a full idea. Oh, let me see. Seagulls, they are nasty on the last few years. Oh, even this viewpoint is not too bad. Torpedo birds. See, they are sharks, they are not birds at the moment. They are nasty, they are really nasty. Ciao, buon pomeriggio, ciao a tutti. No, we are extremely lucky that the view is just spectacular. Yeah, as you can see, we don't have many water taxis around, so it means that the season is definitely really quiet. And so beside of the yellow boat that is going to go to the airport, the Vaporetto that is docking right now, the small boats for delivery that is right there, and ciao Dalia, ciao tutti, ciao, and the few gondolas. And so, as I told you, it's quiet. See, I agree, I just shut up a couple of minutes so you can enjoy the sound of Venice. Yeah, as you can hear, there's not much noise going on actually, and this is the kind of crowd that we're having at this specific moment. But it's quiet. In few weeks we will not be able to cross the bridge because to all the big crowds for Carnevale. Oh, let's see. Yeah, the view is just spectacular at this moment. So let's say that we got the Ca' Foscari that is all the way down there. The area of San Marco is on the left hand side. It's perfect timing. Yesterday the entire sky was like pinkish, purple, violet, red, and that was phenomenal. Let me show you the other side too, so we can compare the bright side and the dark side of Venice. At least you can get the full idea. Yeah, we've been lucky today. Great weather, great conditions, great everything, so we cannot complain. Oh, here we go. That's the other side. So we can get the full idea. So you're watching from Palazzo B. Oh, here we go. We were discussing about seagulls. Here we go. I told you that we're going to get seagulls attacks. On the last few years they became the celebrities. They're even posing almost all the time. Oh, it's just perfect. And we're really lucky today, absolutely. Even this view with the gondola that is right in the middle of the canal at the moment is just phenomenal. Ciao Jose! I try to stand still, I try not to move. Saluti da tuo fratello Santo Domingo. Davide, lo so, beato ti sì che ti sta bene, altro che qua Alfredo è al cielo come bambino Gesù. Ciao Ezzo, beato ti. Let's try to go on the other side that we finish our walk with the incredible view of the sun setting from the Ponte di Rialto. No, it's gorgeous. We're super lucky. Maniche curte e canotte, te credo. Sbozzo se non ti ho catti. Che invidia. Stamattina era abbrosa dappertutto, era già sa ovunque. Freddo, ma freddo fisso stamattina. -3, -4, grosso modo, quindi da morire. Oh, here we go. Folks, for that I leave you with a view. Thank you for watching us from I Love You Venice. It has been great to take you around the city. Thank you as usual for supporting us. Grazie mille, stay tuned that we're going to have new projects that are coming up. Massa inverni qua che avevo 20 anni, immagino. And thank you for watching and supporting us. Grazie mille and arrivederci, and I'll leave you with one of the view of the day, I believe. Here we go.